All right, you guys, this is our Wellness Warrior Weekly Huddle. We are so glad that you're here and just a part of this community. My name is Tracy, and part of the vision of this Wellness Warrior community started with me linking arms with a few friends and saying, hey, let's create something fun that people can be a part of. So that is why you're here. I wanted to read a quote from Martin Luther King because it is Martin Luther King Day. And it was just something that I kind of laughed at. And then I kind of was like, no, we're going to start the call off with this. If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But by all means, keep moving. And I think as women, as wives, as moms, that is something that can just encourage us today, just to keep moving, even if it's just a step in the direction that you want to head. So maybe you went for a walk today because you didn't want to go for a workout, or maybe you had a second pink drink because you didn't want the second cookie. So whatever step you took today, we just want to applaud you for that. I'm going to kick it to Rosabel, who is going to celebrate some fun things that have happened this past week with our team.
Okay, who is ready to celebrate? Because I am. After that super duper Saturday, I was, oh my. Okay, let's celebrate those. There is a list, long list, of the people who has enrolled and earned 250 perks. Ashley Stoka, Crystal H, Daniela Hurtado, Emily J, Emma, and the first one ever, Emma Tulia, Julie Shiroma, Camlin Heath, Kimberly Bill, Lindsay Brown, Rachel Stoka, myself, Rosibel Marine, and Tommy Longren, Tia P, Tracy Fogel, and don't forget, this is just the middle of the month. So we have work to do. We have to move forward, okay? And don't forget, we are all working to enroll 3 and earn our fun Plexus cup. Who wants a cup? I'm never tired of that, so I want mine. And when you enroll 6, you'll unlock an additional 400 bonus that we want to go to convention, right? So we want that cash. Okay, let's do that. And let's congratulate our new brand ambassador, Tommy Longren. Okay, woo, congratulations, everyone. I'm so excited to see who is next week. Okay. I don't know who is next right now.
I got you. Okay. We are going to kick it to Julie Sharoma, who's going to share a little bit of her story with the Plexus supplements.
For my whole life, I had anxiety. I just didn't know that that's what it was. It would manifest itself by, I would see a lot of tasks that need to be done, and that would paralyze me. I couldn't do it. It's when people find out that I have anxiety, they're very surprised because I run a lot of things in my life, whether it's at church or business or whatever. But inside, sometimes there was like a restlessness that you couldn't get rid of. The one thing that I didn't realize was anxiety until a few years ago, which was uncontrolled rage. I didn't realize that was an anxiety symptom. And it would look like my daughter's room could be a complete mess, and I could walk in 8 times and it wouldn't bother me. But the 9th time, out of nowhere, I would lose it. So I, under a doctor's care, started some medication, and it was great. I was no longer, my family no longer felt like they were walking on eggshells, and like my mood balanced. So that worked for a couple of years until my doctor said, you need to get off of it because this is really not good for your liver. This was just true for the medication I was on. I'm not speaking all anxiety medicines, but And I also felt the Lord telling me I needed to get off. And I thought it was because I was going to need a random surgery, like a car accident, worst case scenario. And they can't operate on you if you're on this medicine. So in my mind, that's what I was preparing for. So even though I was pre-diabetic and I wanted to lose weight, what made me jump into Plexus was stumbling across a YouTube video of a woman who was on the same anxiety medicine that I was. And she said that the reason she always takes Plexus is because she was able to get off the anxiety medicine. So I called up Michelle and I was like, okay, I'm in. And within 3 months, I was able to start managing my anxiety naturally. A lot of that, you may or may not know, but 90% of your serotonin is produced in your gut. So it makes sense if your gut is out of balance, your moods are going to be all over the place. And so even right away, just starting with triplex and my gut balancing, and slowly moving off the anxiety medicine, it took 3 months to wean myself off of it. And then enter Vital Biome. That's a probiotic just like Probio 5, except it has different strains, probiotic strains. And 2 of those are psychobiotics, and that means they're clinically proven to reduce stress. So that's what I manage my anxiety with now, Triplex and Vital Biome. And it works. Okay, nothing is 100%. My prescription medication wasn't 100%. And this isn't either, but it's the same. And there's not the negative side effects. My liver's much happier. My family's happy that it's working. And I noticed my daughter a few years ago that she was having anxiety symptoms, although I would never tell her that that's what she was experiencing. So I just said, hey, I want you to start taking Vital Biome. It's a vitamin. And that's all I told her it was. And it was helping her. She could feel it was helping her. She went away to sleepaway camp and didn't take it with her. And she called me and she's like, is that medicine or that, vitamin, is that for anxiety? And I was like, why? And she goes, because I can tell. So I'm super grateful for Plexus for just the knowledge and like seeing people share, because I would still be like, I don't know if I'd still be married if it wasn't for, the help coming in, right? So thank you guys. Thank you, Michelle, for sharing, for this team. But yeah, that's kind of my story. It's been 5 years.
That's what I was going to ask. How long have you been on the products now?
5 years. And so, that's what I wanted to talk about tonight, the anxiety. However, I'm no longer pre-diabetic. I've lost 20 pounds. My I don't have dry eyes anymore. I mean, random stuff. Like there's so much that, like, I think some of us think, oh, if I just lose weight, I will be happy. And then you start seeing all these other wins. You're like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. So I love it. I love everything about addressing gut health and how I feel.
Okay, I know the other question people are wondering is how old is your daughter?
She'll be 14 on Monday.
Okay, and when did you introduce Vital Biome to her?
2 years ago.
Okay. We ask that a lot, so I'm always really curious, but yeah.
She also takes triplex. I started her because I want, when you realize it's happening in your gut. So she started off with half a stick of Slim, 1 Probio 5, 1 Bio Cleanse, and we've upped it a little bit. She's full Slim now.
That's awesome. Julie, thank you for sharing. How many
You're
of y'all learned something new tonight? Wow. Yeah, man. Okay, so you're gonna get to hear from me next. And it was really interesting because Genevieve at our Super Saturday, she started sharing about how, like, in the 1920s, we started with peddlers. And now here we are with a network marketing company 100 years later, right? And so what I wanted to do was just kind of fill in some of the gaps of the history of Plexus, because I've been with Plexus for 7 years next month. And I've been with Plexus the longest of anybody here. And there's a lot of the history that I wasn't even a part of. And so I thought, what can we equip people with? What can we give people at the start of a new year? And I think the biggest thing I want you to take away tonight is belief in this company, belief in these products from Julie, right? Belief that you can do it, as Rosabelle is shouting out all of these women who are sharing these products with others, but then belief in the company. And so I'm going to read from my phone because I literally pulled this from the Plexus website. And I want you to hear this. It starts with a guy named Tarl, okay? Tarl, Tarl. And Plexus really started with him. And so who is Tarl, right? You always look at a company and you say, who founded the company? Why did they find the company? What was their mission for doing this? And I think this is going to tell you a lot about why Plexus is the way that Plexus is. So who is Tarl Robinson? He is the founder and chairman of Plexus Worldwide. He is the proud leader of the Health and Happiness Company that specializes in health products and a global online income opportunity in Scottsdale, Arizona. If you did not know, that's where headquarters are located. Since 2008, the company has grown from one product, an in-home breast health kit, to a robust portfolio featuring more than 30 wellness products. Tarl's passion for the direct sales industry first started at an early age. Both of his parents earned their full-time income as distributors in network marketing. While in college, he became a distributor for a large direct sales company focused on nutritional and weight loss products. As he built his business from the ground up, he found success and excitement as an entrepreneur. In 2002, he relocated to Arizona, where he gained new skills, starting a real estate management firm, overseeing several multi-million-dollar clients, trusts, and their entities. Now, with more than 2 decades of direct sales experience, he's leading the way for Plexus to become the 38th largest company in the world direct selling. Outside of overseeing the day-to-day operations of Plexus, he enjoys spending time with his wife and their children. He likes to travel and spend time with those close in his life. On occasion, you'll find him playing a mediocre round of golf or cheering on the Seattle Seahawks. And here is what I want you to hear. As a reflection of all the company's accomplishments, Tarl continues to find inspiration in Plexus's people, community, and culture. He believes that Plexus is truly more than an opportunity for amazing products or even additional income. Plexus is about helping people find their purpose. In turn, Tarl has found his own true purpose: to foster Plexus's influence and inspire people to help others achieve their own health and happiness for years to come. You guys, it started with a vision of a man, and it doesn't say this in here, who was raised by a single mother who provided for his family through direct sales. And when he founded Plexus in 2008, his vision was to do direct sales in the way it was often not done, but could be and should be done. Some big things you need to know: Plexus is a debt-free company. We have no debt. When they are paying out $400 bonuses for signing 6 people this month, that's not incurring debt on the company. When they're giving a free bag of Slim or a free bottle of Balance to new VIP customers, you guys, Plexus is a debt-free company. They're not going into debt for that. They're truly taking the overflow, the abundance, and pouring it back in to the company. That's what they're doing here. In 2008, the first ambassadors joined Plexus. It was a women's breast health company with one reusable product. Let's talk about a business model. One reusable product that you could sell to one person one time and they wouldn't need it again. But it was a company focused on women. They already had vision for impact, and they wanted to help people. There was also a breast cream introduced at some point. I was trying to figure out when that was introduced, and I actually couldn't find out. We still have a replica of this in the body cream. So a lot of people don't know we have a body cream in our product line. It's a charcoal aloe lotion that was created for women going through breast cancer radiation treatments to treat the burns on their skin. It's incredible. And I've watched friends use it and they just tell me it's incredible. It's also incredible for sunburns. So we always take a bottle to the beach, but it was created for radiation burns on cancer patients. And that's where Plexus started. In July of 2009, a pink drink was brought to Plexus as the first consumable product. This revolutionized the business, and it was really the first days of the Plexus we know today. It was the pink drink, Plexus Slim. Drink it and get skinny, right? That was what everybody talked about. They had kind of started some of the stuff Julie was talking about, knowing that it would help pre-diabetics and type 2 diabetics, right? Really help manage those insulin levels. And when you managed insulin in everybody, people were seeing weight loss. In 2013, Plexus Slim was paired with another product called Accelerator. And I always like to talk about Accelerator because this is the one that people like to be like, well, I Googled Plexus and I found lawsuits. And you're like, oh yeah, was it the Accelerator in Australia? Yeah, okay. Tell me something I don't know. So what happened is people were losing weight like wildfire with Slim and Accelerator. And there was one ingredient in that Accelerator, I can't even remember what it was. And in Australia, it kind of got thrown onto a red flag page, if you will, of like, if you consume too much of this product, we are finding that it might cause this. Immediately, Plexus pulled the product off the market and reformulated it because that is what they do. There were no lawsuits. There were no legal actions taken. Plexus did the right thing before it ever became an issue. But the reason I mention this is because where there are women and where there are women losing weight like wildfire, there is mass explosion in a company. This is where we saw the first just soaring to the top of women ranking to the top of the company in months, mere months, going from one customer to 5,000 customers in a period of 10 months. We saw insane things happen. And there's a whole group of women we call the OG Plexus crew from that time. They're still with the company today, and they've seen it through all of these transitions I'm about to talk about. But that's the first wave of momentum we really saw in Plexus. It was also the first time we saw the company make a decision that would inhibit their financial gain by doing the right thing. Mary, it was the Accelerator, the original Accelerator. They pulled it off. It was their best-selling product because one ingredient came up as something that could cause question. You guys, companies don't do that. They don't do it, but Plexus did. In September of 2014, the triplex combo, the gut health system, was introduced for the first time. This truly changed the trajectory of Plexus from weight loss to gut health. Everyone agreed we want women's health to be the center. And we also want to expand this to being whole family health. And that was where we saw a real shift in Plexus. In February of 2017, a new mom named Tracy Fogel would join her friend Paige in Plexus. Hi, it's me. That's when I joined my friend Paige. The products were a mess. You guys, all of the bottles, they looked different. Ease was like a blue bottle. X Factor was a green bottle. Slim came in like a gray bag. And like, it was a mess, but the products worked. In 2017, Microbiome Slim was introduced, and our first rebranding of taking all of these products we'd kind of added in here and there was underway. A year later in 2018, Hunger Control Slim and MetaBurn were launched, bringing back in a weight loss, gut health focus to Plexus. Since 2018, Plexus has added numerous scientific-based products, has been awarded top multivitamins for X Factor Plus, and continues to develop a limited number of products each year to do things right the first time. You guys, there are companies adding in dozens and dozens of products a year. And the reason our product line is so small is Plexus will add 1 to 2 products a year to our product line because they want it done the right way the first time. They want the ambassadors to have time to learn about the products and really feel confident in moving forward. Can you imagine if Plexus was like, here's 10 products, and you're like, I don't even know what to do with it, right? But they're like, here's one. We want you to get to know this and love it and become an ambassador for it. We're now in 4 markets. We're in the United States, and then we opened in Australia. We opened in Canada. Hey, Canada. And Mexico. And we get asked the question often, this is Plexus worldwide. When are we going to go worldwide? And as they shared with us on the cruise, we are going to do it one new market at a time at the right time. And y'all, I appreciate them for that. It is hard to open a new market for a company. As Rosabelle knows, who's in Canada, the products up there are just a little bit different than in the USA sometimes because of different regulations for different companies. They have different regulations on how things have to be packaged and how things can be consumed. Like, it is crazy. And so that is why they're doing it one market at a time at the right time. But first, they want to get everything kind of squared away that we already have. You have to remember, you guys, Plexus is just 15 years old. We are still a baby company. 15 years, that's not much. And for the first, 4 years, they just had Slim and a breast check kit. We've seen massive growth in the past 10 years. Plexus has been awarded numerous awards from the Better Business Bureau, and they've gotten awards of being the best place to work in Arizona. And I'll tell you, and I know Allie and Michelle and anybody who's talked to any of the employees at Plexus can tell you, they love their jobs. They love their jobs. Everybody wants to work for Plexus. And so that just gives me confidence knowing I'm choosing to be there, and so are their actual employees. We are with the right company, and this is the right time. You guys, Plexus is very clear about where they're headed, and they're going to do it with excellence. They're not going to cut corners. They're not going to promise one thing and do a different thing. They're going to do it the right way the first time, and they're going to take it slow and steady while they do it. And y'all, I am so confident in this company, and I hope after me sharing some of this stuff with you that you are also confident in this company. It is the best decision I ever made joining Plexus, and I don't ever regret it. And I am so excited to see where we are 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, because here's what I know. When you have the right vision and you have financially wise people at the forefront, making wise decisions for a company, the future is endless. It is going to be a really bright future for Plexus. You guys, I am going to kick it over to my friend Cami. I asked her to share a little bit with y'all about why she started sharing Plexus in the first place. I don't think, I'm going to say, I think a lot of people were probably surprised when she first shared Plexus because she's a pastor's wife from small town Tennessee. And that was not something that was common for her. She'd never done network marketing before. And so I asked her to share a little bit of why she started sharing Plexus and what she's hopeful for in the future.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. I definitely did not see myself doing anything like this because I just really did, like Tracy said, I wondered, could I really be a pastor's wife and do network marketing? I don't know. I haven't really had a bad taste with network marketing per se, but I still just felt like it had that bad reputation of being salesy and you're going to spam all of your close friends and like pressure them into buying stuff. I don't know. I just felt like that's what I heard. And so basically how it kind of went down is I had watched Michelle share for years and I trusted Michelle. I trusted Michelle like I've known her since I was a teenager, and I knew that she was a woman of character. And so when she started sharing about this company and these products, despite the fact that everything she would share all kinds of different testimonies of all kinds of different people that this was helping, and I thought, how? Like, how could a product really help that many different things? Like, how is this not a scam? But I trusted Michelle. And so, and the funny thing is that along that time, Michelle was like the first one I saw, but along that like whole time that I was watching, there was like this pastor's wife over here that started sharing, and this pastor's wife. And I was like, okay. I mean, all of these people are people I trust. Like, this stuff has got to be legit. Like, I just don't think they would lie about it. And Michelle shared for a very long time before I ever reached out to her and asked her a question. Um, and so seeing that steadiness like spoke like so much to me. And so I finally got to a place in my health where I was like, okay, Michelle, how much is this stuff? Like, does this help with hormones? Because I was having some issues and they were wanting to put me on birth control pills. And you guys, I have 6 kids and made it through all 6 children clearly without being on birth control. That's why we have 6 children. And then all of a sudden we're like done having kids and they're like, you need birth control. And I was like, no, like I don't want to be on that stuff. And so, anyway, I was like, can this help? And she said yes. And we, do not have very much extra income. So, pastor's wife, 6 children, like it wasn't in the budget. I'm not talking like just, skip your coffee this day and that day. We weren't getting coffee this day and that day. There was no extra room. And so I did start substitute teaching, and I used like that first month. I was like, well, let's try it with this. Um, and so I started, and I knew immediately that I needed to share. I was like, okay, Michelle and I have very similar personality types. And so I was like, so I asked her right away, I'm like, how much are you making? Like on this little chart, like, where are you at? And when she told me she was Ruby, which means she was making a couple $1,000s a month, I was like, if Michelle is like, very honest and very like she's not all in your face. And so if Michelle can do this, like surely I could do this. So I started sharing very slowly to get the cost of my products covered. And I was absolutely floored at how many people were interested, like without me having to do anything. The products really did just kind of speak for themselves. I just shared a little bit here and there. And I finally I had a point where I was like, what if I actually tried? Like, what if I really actually tried to like do something with this? And the rest is kind of history. Like it it became more than I ever thought it could be already, with the hopes of seeing what it could be too. And not only what it could be for my family, but for what it could be for other people that I help. And so that's really kind of the gist of my story. I really did just start because I wanted my products covered. I really did not think that I could do something like this. And then it was like the Lord I continued to pray, and I continued to like just surrender it to him and just ask like, but can I, and he just continues and continues to give me such a peace and such a joy doing this. And not only that, but has brought me so many people. Like, this is the best team. When I think about the other teams I could have joined in that whole process of seeing this person share and this person share, like it just was 100% the Lord that just led me to Michelle, to this team. Um, I'm grateful every single day. Like, it is such a blessing to me. So that is my story.
Thank you.
Yes.
Friend, I love it. And I always think about when you took your family to the Gaylord.
Oh, so I'll share just a little bit about that if I have time. So the first, like when I really started sharing, the first leaders retreat contest that came up was in Orlando. And I was like, I mean, I did really well in the last, like, I never did it for like the contest, but I can't even remember what they had. Like, I think at that point we were earning like little prizes for different credits and stuff. And when I saw how it matched up, I was like, I mean, I think I will probably earn this. Like, I did well enough this I think I might do this. And so I was getting really excited. And sure enough, I did earn the trip down to Orlando. And so Jason and I decided to go. And at the time, his brother lived about an hour from there. So we were like, oh, this will work perfect. We'll take the kids down there and then we'll go to Orlando. Well, when we got there, I don't guess I realized, which is really funny to me, but I didn't realize it was the Gaylord. And so we walk in and it looks just like the Opryland Hotel in Nashville because it's the same type thing. And that's where Jason proposed to me when we got engaged. And so it just immediately was so special. And we had talked about like going to pick the kids up once we got done and just spending a few days with his brother. And as we were there, we just got this like, man, the kids would love this. And so because I had earned some extra money with Plexus, we earned that part for free. We were already down there. And so we took some of the money that I had earned over the last few months and we went and picked the kids up and brought them back to that hotel. And you guys, like, travel with our family is just not something that we get to do very often with just the 8 of us. And I could cry like every time I think about it because we didn't tell them we were doing it. We just went and they were kind of like bummed, like, we're really leaving Uncle Clint's. Like, I thought we were staying longer. And I'm like, yeah, but we're going to maybe do some fun things along the way. And so we pull up to Orlando and yeah, no, just the 8 of us. We pull up and we get off the interstate and there's the big Gaylord right there. And we're like, I guess we're just going to stay here for the night. And our oldest, Daniel, pointed and was like, well, why don't we just stay there? Like, as a total joke, like, there's no way this will happen. And we were like, okay. And they just were, I don't know. Like I said, I could almost cry thinking about it because the looks on their faces when they walked in there and we got to do that was just an experience I will never forget. So
Girl, I love it. I have tears
yeah.
in my eyes, literally thinking about that when you were like, we're going to go pick up the kids and we're not telling them and we're coming back here and they've never stayed anywhere like this. Like,
Ever.
that was the best day.
Yeah.
Okay. We're about to get out of here. Cami, tell us, what do we have coming up this week for people to plug into?
So this week we have got on Thursday night, we've been having a Zoom every week. And this week we are doing it for our prospects. So the Zoom's going to be at 8:00. It's going to highlight triplex, reset, and balance. And we're also going to have several really, really great testimonies. So if you have anybody interested in Plexus at all, people that you've maybe been chit-chatting with, or even just people that maybe you haven't talked to yet, but you're thinking like, man, this sounds like something that this person needs. This would be a great call. It'll be a Zoom just like this kind of format. I was like, what's the word? But just this kind of format. People will be sharing their testimonies. People will be talking about those products. It's going to be really, really good. So that's at 8:00 on Thursday. And then next week, we'll have another opportunity Zoom that's going to kind of highlight what this opportunity could be. So stay tuned for those details. And then our next team-wide reset is going to be February the 5th. So keep watch for those details as well.
Awesome. Y'all, thank you so much for hopping on. We will be here next week with a new testimony, new exciting celebrations, and new tips to help you into the week ahead. Thank you for being here, y'all. We'll see you next week. Bye.